White culture strikes again. Oh my goodness. So I'm a little late to the party, I'll admit. Okay, when it comes to this whole Nick Merc controversy, I had no idea who the guy was. I had to look into it, see what the controversy was about. And at the end of the day, this is just dumb. All of it dumb. For those of you who don't know, Nick Merc is a streamer. What happened is that there is the school board at Glendale was discussing making June Pride Month, right? Celebrating June, making an official Pride Month. And there was certain curriculum that allegedly the parents of the school were not happy with. Now, allegedly, there were people, many people there, weren't even parents or had kids at the school. They were coming from outside of the district and protesting. So at the end of the day, it became pro-LGBT versus anti-LGBT. That's what it came. And it was a bunch of people, fighting and protesting. And eventually, I believe one person got arrested, yada, yada, yada. Nevertheless, this made its way onto Twitter. One person, I forgot the guy's name, he goes on to say that, hey, let people love and live, yada, yada, yada. Nick Merc comments. Now, the article he was quoting was talking about how, anti-alphabet were attacking pro-alphabet. That was the article that this person was commenting on, saying let people love. Nick Merc comments under the article saying, hey, leave little kids alone. That's the real issue. Now, in response to this tweet, Nick Merc allegedly is a big Call of Duty guy, Call of Duty streamer, and Call of Duty yeeted his bundle. Apparently, he was supposed to have a Call of Duty bundle that features him as a skin in the game, and they said no. All right, we support Pride. What you said was, anti, alphabet, yada, yada, yada. And that's the whole controversy. Let me break this down to you, okay? If I can be so bold. Nick Merc, at the end of the day, I would argue he's a coward. He's a coward and he's dumb for what he tweeted. Just makes no sense. You have nothing to gain from that. You're doing nothing except virtue signaling at this point. Because he comes out in the video talking about, well, I just had a child right now, and I think it's my job to teach my child that there's certain stuff that I want to teach with them.
My wife and I just had a baby. Brand new father, but her and I agree that we want to be the ones to talk to our kid about things like that. I just don't think it's any place for a teacher or a school. I don't think it's the place to speak about things like that.
And it's just like, yo, can we stop with this nonsense? Can we stop with this dog whistling? Because it's not even dog whistling anymore. The whole point of dog whistling is that you're giving a message to one audience, and then you're giving another message to another audience. Everyone gets what you mean when you say leave the kids alone. What they're referring to is the P word, all right? When it comes to adults messing with little children. That's where the whole P word, that's where the whole grooming, that's where all these things stem from. Because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, when it comes to most conservatives, Republicans, especially parents, what we're going to tell our child, all right, I'm just letting you know, what we're going to tell them when it comes to the alphabet is that it's a degenerative alternative lifestyle. That's what we're going to tell them. It is what it is, and that it's not normal, and it should not be promoted in any way, shape, or form. Having said that, we should treat these people with love and respect, and we should pray for them that they leave their path of sin. That's what we're gonna do. All right. You can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, that's what we're going to do. So trying to say, well, I just think we should have these conversations I should be allowed as a parent. Stop missing me all this nonsense, okay? Miss me with all this nonsense. It's the same faux argument that the anti-black racists use when it comes to black history. Well, I don't think we should be teaching this woke nonsense in school. It has nothing to do with wokeness, right? It has nothing to do with woke. You guys, there's white woke and then there's black woke, all right? They completely co-opted the word woke and transformed it into this horrible, Frankenstein. And all woke means to them, it's just stuff that they don't like. When it comes to wokeness in CRT or what CRT is, that just means, hey, I don't want my child who is fragile, who has been raised fragile their entire lives, to learn about their ancestors and the evil and the wicked behavior that they did, because that's going to have an impact on my child's psyche. And they're probably going to suffer from some type of white fragility and believing that, hey, they're the bad guy and I don't want my child to deal with that. That's what that means when they say certain stuff like that. So this isn't anything new. So I think when people give this roundabout way of saying, I just want to teach my child this and this, no, just come out and say it. Just, hey, this is a lifestyle that I don't agree with. I say just come out and say it. Stop beating around the bush. I think that's why we're in this predicament as is. Republicans, the reason why many black people are socially conservative or even think about voting for the Republican Party was the fact the Republican Party is socially conservative. But they threw that out the window. All right, you got Brandon Straka, you got Rob Bushy-Smith, you got Caitlyn Jenner on Fox News, you got what's the person's name, the trans girl, Blair White. They've embraced the bussy. So it's like, okay, well then both of you guys, don't align with my family values. It's as simple as that. It's not very hard. Now, because when you actually break it down, and if you're trying to have this argument without just saying that, it's going to be very hard. Because the natural argument or the natural rebuttal is, well, when is it okay? And the honest answer, because that's what they want to say, well, my child is too young to discuss this. It's like, that's not the truth. That's not true, right? If my child, the day and time I have little Lucas, and they want to talk about, the birds and the bees, I'll look over the course, just make sure it's not, too intense, not too grotesque. But that course is going to go off a different way than how a course talking about trans and alphabet, going at it. That's going to be a no-no, all right? It's not going to happen. There is no point in time where I would allow my child to cover that, to ever look at that information, know that information at all. You come to daddy, I'm going to tell you, this is an alternate degenerative lifestyle. That's how it's usually, I'm just letting you know, that's how that's going to work. That's how it's going to work for the majority of parents, especially clearly in Glendale, okay? That's how it's going to work when it comes to conservative and Republican parenting. That just is. Now, the problem with saying that out loud is because it's going to be deemed hate speech. It's going to be deemed you're a bigot. And, that's just how it is. Because, once again, I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys this, but the culture war is lost. People who think like this, you guys are you're gonna go into hiding. Especially when I put out in a tweet talking about, hey, protect the little kids. What? That's dumb. Completely dumb, right? And the irony is, this fool goes and puts something out, puts this out there, and then Call of Duty yeets him, and then he goes back to playing Call of Duty. There is no boycott of Call of Duty. He goes back to playing the game. And just like, you guys are cowards. It's now, honestly, you may lose your job in taking a stand on these issues. Had Republicans, mustered up some courage, but, the majority of the Republicans in office are, a bussy themselves. Just saying, most of them are alphabet themselves. They're just on the DL. So, this is where we're at. But I just say, just come out and say this instead of trying to beat around the bush. Because it doesn't make any logical sense when you do that. When you try and say, well, I don't want my child learning about this, or why are you beating me over the head with that? All that is just dog whistles. Because what they're going to ask is, well, do you have a problem with Beauty and the Beast? Do you have a problem with Aladdin kissing Jasmine? Do you have a problem with that? So what's the problem with Aladdin kissing Aladdin? And you're going to be like, well, I just don't think that's appropriate right now. It's not going to work, bro. It's not going to work. Just come out and stand on what you stand. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look, that's not true, okay? You guys are just a bunch of bigots and hateful people, okay? Get the hate out of your heart. Stop the homophobia, all right? Stop the transphobia. Stop the bigotry. Or if you haven't believed, listen, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, all right? You're not going to change people's hearts. It's just not going to happen. It doesn't matter how many, BS studies that come out, how many people in Hollywood say, hey, agree with this. It's not going to happen, especially with those with a biblical and faith backing. That's sure as heck not going to happen. And we see how they've already infiltrated the churches and they're already bastardizing, scripture. But it's just not going to happen. I just think more people should come out and stand on 10 instead of beating around the bush with this, these dog whistles. Oh, leave the kids alone. Oh, stop the grooming. Hey, we got to protect the kids. It's like you've already lost this argument. You've lost it. So by saying these false arguments, it's erroneous because it's already been established, born that way. And they're born that way, well then there's nothing they can do about it. It's innate. And if it's innate, well then guess what? Living in a society where there's millions of people like this, we now have to educate, upcoming kids, upcoming youth. It all makes sense to me. I may not agree with it, but it all makes sense 100%. And upon with that education is going to have to be in the schools. And guess what? It's already been approved. They've already approved this, LAUSD. It's already been approved. So you guys are just for no reason. I would suggest if you want to raise your child in a certain manner that is unbecoming of this world at the moment, then your best bet is going to be homeschooling. But they're going to attack homeschooling too. So, you're better off homeschooling right now until they get their hands on that. It just is what it is. Now, I don't know what to tell you. People are getting their panties in a bunch. It's just like, 1 + 1 is 2. Okay. And then C comes after B. If you know what to expect, then I don't know, the stress just melts away. You become less angry, less upset because you've already anticipated this. But, that's just me. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree with this video, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days, which are typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in and we duke it out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think. Whether Nick Merc is right, whether he's wrong, whether he's a coward, whether he's a hero. And hopefully you guys, you had fun. And I'll see you next time. And until next time, and all that fun stuff, totally messed up this ending. Be amazing. Well, I don't think we should be teaching this woke nonsense in school.